You can find me, okay, sorry, let's catch it. My name is Saint Evo, the myth. My government name's Steven J. Rombogo. I'm a DJ as well as a producer and a sound engineer. Well, for me, it started in 2007, end 2007, when I traveled to South Africa to study. I'd gone to actually study business administration. I did it for 1 year, and then I decided, why not try music? So in the process of it, I decided to take the leap, and I decided to not continue with my studies. My parents are not happy about it, but nonetheless, it was a passion, and that is what actually pushed me towards following it as an endeavor. Well, a couple. I've worked with some artists from South Africa. One of them being Melo, who signed to one of the biggest labels in South Africa called Soul Candy Records. I've also worked with Tista, Lungsters, and a few others from South Africa that you may not be familiar with. But in Kenya, I've worked with the likes of Della. I've worked also with the likes of Boneless, and I've also worked with the likes of, as well as Jack Rooster, Electric DJs, and actually I've worked also with others indirectly through the social networks, you know, sending projects from there to here, such as Kato Change as well. And in regards to the artists I've signed, I've actually signed 3 artists so far. Our lead artist being Inami. She's a well-talented lady, and followed by Dumak, a Zimbabwean artist. And lastly, Mr. Jake, who happens to be a DJ producer. Yes. Yeah. Thing is, I live a double life as a DJ and a producer. So I'd say from a DJing side, my highlights have been working with Century Project, Century Safari, which is an initiative that goes about collecting indigenous sounds, African sounds, East African sounds, and basically amalgamating it with digital sounds through various workshops. And I guess that's what I mean by a thin line between DJing and producing, because that has also been a highlight in regards to my production part of things. And it's been quite a journey, because we've been able to perform at festivals such as Sauti za Busara, Doa Doa, Sauti za Busara in Zanzibar, Doa Doa in Jinja. And now we're hoping to do it here in Kenya as well, and pretty soon. And I guess the touring and meeting various new people, various new artists, producers, festival organizers has been quite a big highlight. I think I'd first start continentally. From Africa, I'd like to one day perform at the Cape Town Electronic Music Festival. Yeah, from Europe, I'd say Glastonbury, or a long shot, I'd put it out as Tomorrowland. But that, I'd say maybe 10 years from now, maybe, if God willing, yeah.
Double M thing, going hard like a choo-choo train. Crazy
attitude. Within the Kenyan industry, we have this attitude of, I know better than you, you know less than I, based on this and that and that. And with that, we only have an industry where people are not being collaborative, but being competitive. And not to say competition is not bad, it keeps one on their toes. But I'd say with that we have competitiveness in the sense whereby there's no market at the end of the day that we can sell to a global scene that is legitimate. And with that, the competition that we have is always unfair competition. And touching on policies, I'd have to say that our monitoring system in regards to royalties and performance rights has been really lagging, and I'd have to implore our societies, MCSK, CAMP, RISC, to be more involved. Wow, it was in South Africa actually. It was like one of those moments where your mentor gives you some time to play, and it's a big stage, And I was given this chance, and when I got up there, little did I know that I carried the wrong flash with me. And when I plugged it in and started through, actually, as soon as I pressed play, I realized, wow, this is the flash that I usually use to gather music for my niece. And when I started playing, it was some really lovely nursery rhymes, and I remember the festival guys were like, wow, is this part of the show? My mentor looking at me like, wow, should I actually have given you a chance, But either way, we remedied the situation. It was quite embarrassing 5 minutes, I'd have to say, which were quite long. But other than that, we got the right flash, and the show continued. Should have been prepared. Weirdest fun moment? Weirdest fun moment is, wow, many weird things in my life, I'd say. I'm just trying to pinpoint which one. Well, there was this fun that one day I was, how do you put it, I was DJing just here in a club in Nairobi. And they came up to me and they're like, hey, what's up, man? And I was busy in the mix, so I couldn't really speak to them. So it was actually a gentleman. So his hand went down, and I was like, hey, what is this guy doing? Because I could feel his hands down here. And the funny thing is, I was like, what is this guy doing? Where's the bouncer? Yeah, get this guy out of here, And it was quite embarrassing because I started shouting at him, only to look down and realize that he was actually tipping me, for playing good music. So that was a weird fun moment. I was like, oh, sorry, man. So I actually had to buy him a beer with the tip he gave me, and Creative's Garage is a very good initiative that actually does care about art and craft, and the thing is, we don't have much initiatives such as this in Kenya, because arts has been really ignored. It has not been viewed as something that contributes towards society, but at the end of the day, it is one of the integral parts of society and the various lifestyles that we have within this country. And I'd say we need more initiatives such as this, and I actually owe a lot to Creative's Garage in regards to basically unearthing that talent and those various talents that are within this very setting and are not being explored. You can find me on SoundCloud as Saint Evil, st.evil the myth. Or you can find me as well on Facebook as Saint Evil the Myth as well as my Twitter handle as Saint Evil the Myth. But other than that, the best place to get me is my record label's website, which is www.celsiusdegree.com, CELSIUSDEGREE.com.